What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Zamboni. I'm a musician and astrologer, and it is time to talk about the astrology of the week ahead. I like this astrology this week. I feel like there's a lot of good forward energy this week. New ideas can be had all week this week, and I'm real excited about it. At the beginning of the year, I was like, we gotta wait till the warm season get here because it's about to be wild for a long time, right? And we went through that. And now we're at a point where some of the stuff is, so we had this like Mars retrograde, and then now Mars is past that. And so Mars is just out here doing new things. We had that Venus retrograde, and now Venus is past that. Venus is in new territory now. And actually, these two are making a trine aspect to one another this week. That's going to perfect this week. That's been going on for a little while now. It's been going on for almost 2 weeks, where it's been Venus in Aries, which is Mars's sign, trine to Mars in Leo. Trine is a friendly, helpful, and supportive aspect. They sort of like work together, especially since Venus is in Mars sign, making a trine to Mars himself. That is a situation called reception. So that is to say that Mars can not only see what's going on there in Aries, but has the capacity to help or support whatever Venus is doing there. And so where Venus and Mars can agree is getting people excited to work together. Venus and Mars, on a good day when Venus and Mars are together, then it can be kind of sexy, or like things get like there's a body feeling that can show up here. I don't necessarily always think of a trine aspect of being super sexy. It's more like supportive or like friendly in some kind of way, but that's where Venus and Mars agree. And so there's something here that can be like exciting, 100% exciting for sure, and both of them in fire signs and all that. And what I think is really interesting here is so both of these signs are like going to be trying to, or both signs and both of these planets in this position are going to be trying to move forward on something. They're going to be trying to like work together to make something happen, especially in concert with one another. This is really exciting because we've also got Mercury at the end of Taurus this week. So Mercury at the end of Taurus is going to make a conjunction to Uranus there in Taurus. You will recall that Taurus is ruled by Venus. And so this exciting energy that's going on here with Venus is going to transfer over into this area where Mercury and Uranus are. By the way, if you want to learn some of these aspects and some of the keywords that go with everything, I have a course called Astrology from the Ground Up. You can find that at zambonifunk.com. It's super approachable, super easy to understand what's going on, and it's fun. It's a fun time. It's a very valuable course. Everybody who's taken it has said very good things about it, and there's a little exercise at the end where you get to do a reading and have me sort of like talk about what's going on with your reading. And so it's a good exercise. You can check that out at zambonifunk.com. If you don't feel like doing all that shit and you just want me to read for you, you can also find that at zambonifunk.com. Check out the 10-minute transit touch point. It's basically this vibe where I sit and I tell you about your chart instead of all of like what I do here on the weekly forecast is general, is for everybody. I'll make it specific to you, to your situation. So check that out, zambonifunk.com. So we've got Venus and Mars together, right? And that vibe, that excitement is also relevant to Mercury conjunct Uranus in Taurus. So Mercury is going to be our communicator planet. That's the one that wants to speak and listen, the one who wants to write and read things, the one who is sort of like in that in-between space. Mercury's real thinky with it, right? There's something intellectual that wants to go on here. Uranus is the planet of breakups, breakdowns, breakthroughs. There's sudden changes, chaos can show up. There's a lightning bolt that can go through with that. I often think of Uranus as being like an inventor, or like having a eureka moment, a light bulb moment of some sort, right? And so Mercury and Uranus together sort of like having this moment where there's a new thought or a new idea that can come through, while at the same time being sort of powered by this exciting Venus and Mars working together, thinking new thoughts, trying to get something moving in some new direction, like actually moving forward. But also in Taurus, Mercury, Uranus in Taurus, it wants to make something tangible, right? Not just ideas, not just thoughts about things, but like wants to make something physical that is like real in the world in some kind of way, that has weight, that has heft, that you can like touch in some sort of way. So this is like, there's real good invention energy here that I think is like gonna be useful for, like for a while, through these retrograde cycles and all the rest of that. Then there's been a lot of like working through how you feel about stuff, working through what you really care about, what your true desires are in your heart and this kind of thing, and like what kind of relationships are going to work out and which ones aren't going to work out because we're not aligned, and like all that sort of stuff has been going on for a while. A lot of sort of like thinking and feeling has been going on, right? This week is very good for action, like make the thing happen, make it, like build it in some kind of way, and build it in some new, innovative, inventive kind of way. One of the things that we see going on here, so in the coming weeks, we're going to see Mercury moving into Gemini, and then a little bit later Uranus moving into early Gemini as well, and then a little bit after that Venus is going to make that same move, right? And so there's going to be this like in early Gemini especially, we're going to see a lot of motion, activity, a lot of stuff is going to happen. We're going to see a Mercury cazimi there and all this sort of stuff. In fact, the sun is going to be moving into early Gemini this week. At the very end of this week, we're going to see the sun moving into Gemini. And so happy birthday, Gemini. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. That's what's up. I love to see all the Gemini people around here. You can always get a birthday reading at zen44.com. Don't forget about that. But so the sun is going to shine that light on there, right? The sun is like a little bit of a spotlight on the situation, right? So whatever's going on in early Gemini is going to get a lot of attention this year. We're going to feel that Uranian sort of like need for a new, like I feel like Uranus in Gemini is going to be really into future tech, you know what I mean? All the AI and robotics and, communications models and communications tech that is like going on in the world. Like Uranus in Gemini is going to be really good on that sort of stuff. And so the sun is kind of moving here into Gemini. And one thing that's interesting about early Gemini is that it also makes this trine to Pluto in Aquarius, right? So Pluto in Aquarius is definitely going to be into future tech. I've been thinking about Pluto in Aquarius as being kind of horrific in some sort of way, right? The thing that I have talked about before and that is interesting is like future tech being associated with Pluto in Aquarius. Last time Pluto was in Aquarius, then the cotton gin was invented. And so that was a technology that took all of the so if I think the moon was in Virgo that day. So the day that it was patented. And so it's like this like meticulous, and Mercury is associated with hands and fingers and digits and this kind of thing, right? And so like taking the seeds out of the cotton and like mechanize that. And so there was future tech that was associated with that moment, but it also prolonged the institution of slavery at the same moment, right? And so that's kind of the like future tech possibility and also horror that I see going on here with Pluto in Aquarius. And so stuff moving into early Gemini, beginning with the sun this week, is going to make that trine. Remember that a trine is a friendly and supportive aspect to Pluto in Aquarius. And so there's something here that wants to work together with it, right? And so there's a lot of really good cooperative energy and vibes this week that looks like it really wants to push forward into a new day in some sort of way, right? It looks, with this Mars Venus trine, it looks kind of fearless. It looks like it's ready to go forward, and like no matter what happens. That's one of the beautiful things about Aries and Leo, is that both of those signs are very ready to be seen, very ready to get out into the world and let the world happen to me. There's a kind of like, let it be what it is, and I'm not afraid of getting out here into the world and doing my goddamn thing, because what I'm trying to do is valuable. It does matter. And so sinking into that place and being like, all right, it is time to move forward, and we're going to try new things, and we live in the future already. So what does that mean for me? I want to live in the future. There's something exciting about that. Check it out.